Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Tiffany Benson, one part of Team Benson, and I'm going to be harvesting a lot today because there's a lot going on in the garden and we need to get a lot pulled so then I can fertilize tomorrow. So yeah, let's grab some things. So guys, first before I start grabbing some things, I want to talk about the giveaway that we're going to be doing. You guys will have a week to comment on the video, and I'll put the video that you need to comment on down below in the description, so then that way you have the right video and you can enter to win. We're going to be picking 2 winners and they're going to be getting some of our cool seeds. So I'll have a list of the seeds that are going to be given away down below too as well. And I really want to say thank you guys for just sharing our channel and just getting the word out there, because since that video post where we hit 2K subscribers, we were already almost like 120 more subscribers. So it is really, really cool to see. So I'm excited and thank you guys so much. Now I'm going to be picking a lot of stuff today because I want to fertilize like a deep, nice fertilizer. So I'm gonna do fish fertilizer and I'm also gonna do worm tea tomorrow. And I don't like the smell of it on my veggies like when I'm washing them to eat them. So I'm going to be picking enough for a couple of days. And our garden is starting to produce really heavy right now to where it's producing more than we can eat in like a week. It's a lot of vegetables. So for those of you guys that think that you might not have enough space to grow enough to eat, once your garden starts coming in just really crazy, you're gonna have a lot to eat. And so that's where some preserving things are gonna come into play. So this weekend's gonna be pretty busy for me because I'm gonna be getting some new stuff into the garden because we have all of those starts that I started. Those ones need to get planted in so I can start some of the later stuff like our cantaloupe and our loofah and different things like that. And then also I'm going to be preserving some things because right now there's a lot of different things that are on sale at farmers markets because they're in season. So I did the lemon video. If you guys missed what the lemon video and how I preserved, I did a lacto fermentation, and then I also talked about some other ways you can preserve your lemons. Make sure you guys check that out. I'll link that one down below too. A lot of people ask me what I do with preserved lemons because that is like, what do you do with the salty lemon? And you make Moroccan food. I made a Moroccan fish stew, which I'll insert a picture now. So Moroccan food is some of the most flavorful food you ever want to have. Like, it's amazing flavor, amazing taste, and it just has so many just spices and citruses notes to it that you'll love it. If you guys want to see how I made that, I do have it up in my stories right now on IG, which I'll put my Instagram right here, and it's just going on the stories, so it'll be up for 24 hours. If you guys want an actual video about it and a step-by-step, then let me know and down in the comments and I'll create a video to show you. Alright guys, so to not make this video forever long, I am going to come in with the goal of creating a couple of meals for the weekend. So one, I'm going to do a stir fry. So I have some bok choy, I have some broccoli. I'm going to try putting some of those dragon tail radishes in there, and that's going to be good. I need to get some of the marjoram so that I can dry that. I also need to dry some of this dill because it looks like a big giant bush all over again. And maybe a couple things of mint. Well, I've been having mint spritzers, which I like to call mint and lemon spritzers. It's fresh lemon juice with some mint and then just some club soda over some ice, but it's amazing. So I'm gonna go through and start getting that stuff, and then maybe some lettuce for tacos maybe tonight. So let's start grabbing. So guys, first up is gonna be broccoli. I have one broccoli head that I think is ready, and how you'll kind of know it's ready is that it'll start kind of separating a little bit. You don't want it to start flowering, so if you start seeing yellow, you really need to come get it. And then also the offshoots are starting to produce, so that's another sign that it's ready. So my broccoli isn't going to get super huge because it's really compacted in there, but I wanted to grow, well, I initially wanted to only grow 6 plants, but then I had 8, so what happens when you have 8? You just plant them. And then 2, it's going to produce a lot of offshoots, so I'll be in broccoli for a while. Guys, I just panned over, but look, my tomatoes are finally starting to turn red. I'm pretty excited about it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here and I'm going to grab this right here at an angle and just grab the top head. Guys, if you've never had fresh broccoli, you are missing out from homegrown broccoli because it tastes so much better than that you get in the store. It's really hard for me not to sit here and eat this right now, but I'm not going to because I'm going to have a big stir fry with a whole bunch of stuff in it, and this is going to be a key to my stir fry. But the smell of it, so good. So good. Grow your own broccoli. Now my snow peas are just now starting to come in. There's not a lot of them. There's only like 4. But I'm going to go ahead and add them to the stir fry anyway. Just because the more you pick, the more they grow. They're like regular green beans. So these are another thing I have to have restraint with and not eat it while I'm sitting here because they're really good. I should probably get something to clip it so I don't ruin it. Okay, now what is a stir fry without bok choy? So we're gonna go in and we're gonna grab some bok choy. Now I'm using my bok choy as a cut and come again, so I'm not gonna pull my whole entire plant because it's not bolting yet or anything like that, so there's no need. Eventually when it starts bolting and I need to replace it with something else, I'm gonna come in, pull the entire thing, and the leaves will be a little bit different in taste once it starts bolting, but I can just dry those and then use them for my green drink. So guys, have you ever seen something more beautiful than this much bok choy? I don't know if I have. So I'm just gonna come in here and I am going to grab all of the bottom leaves off of it and just put them in my bucket. I probably will have more bok choy than I need for the stir fry, but I will just put it in a refrigerator, like in the freezer bags, and then just put it in the refrigerator for another meal. But I'm gonna come in here and grab as much because this thing needs a pruning. So I just wanted to show you guys real quick. This is how much I'm pruning my bok choy. I'm taking a lot of it off because I want to get another maybe round or 2 out of my bok choy, which I think I can. Typically I can get around 4, sometimes even 5 rounds of bok choy. So I'm pruning it all this heavy. I do have a couple that have a little aphids on them and those will go to the worms, but for right now I'm just going to take as many leaves as I can. Alright guys, so these are all pruned up and ready for some fertilizer so that they can grow out and cut again. And then I have a keep pile, which look at how nice and big that is. And then I also have a worm pile. For those of you guys that don't know, I have composting worms, so I have to feed them. So also I want you to look out for any type of beneficial insects. Any beneficial insects are going into this pile, so any leaves that already have them on there, I don't want to disturb them. Usually they're the raggedy looking leaves like that, but I put them in there and I just leave the lid of the worm bin open for like a day so that they can eat the aphids and continue going back into the garden and not get trapped in the worm bin. So the other thing that I brought out is some vinegar, because one of the things that I'm going to do is I'm going to soak these before bringing them into the house. And that's just because I'm really big on not having bugs everywhere. So I'm going to add some water, put some vinegar into it once I get done picking some of the kale over there and some of the lettuce over there. I'm going to add them to this bucket and then put some vinegar and water in it to soak. So guys, before I start picking on this lettuce, because we're going to have some tacos tonight, I just want to show you how beautiful this is. Now look, this is the difference between a lettuce, the red romaine lettuce that's not getting covered and the one that is getting covered. Look at how red these leaves are because they have anthocyanin in them, which is what makes them turn once the sun hits them. So this is getting direct light and it's making these leaves bright, well, like a dark red, which is so gorgeous and is going to be so pretty on our tacos and for my salad. Now this lettuce is getting pulled up because it is now bolted. I don't want to have this lettuce bolting because I don't want the flower seeds to come everywhere. So I'm going to pull this one up and then give that one to the worms. So while I'm picking here, I want to talk to you guys about aphids. Now, let me find some out of my go pile. So these little dots all on here, little green dots, you could probably see them more on there. There you go. Those are aphids. Now the aphids are going to bring in beneficial bugs. So one of the things you don't want to do is you don't want to over pesticide your garden. Even like organic gardening and organic pesticides still can make the beneficial bugs not come in, which is something that you want. Now the plant is going to send off a chemical to bring in those aphids to trim it, because obviously I'm letting it get overgrown. We can't eat it fast enough, so therefore the plant is still trying to reduce those leaves so it can put as much energy as it can into providing a big giant stalk in order to give itself some chances of survival by spreading its seeds. So those aphids are going to come in and take those bottom leaves off to give that plant more energy in order to reproduce itself. So that's what it's doing. Now, there are beneficial insects that come in and then eat those aphids, so that when they kind of get it down to where the plant's like, okay, like half of it's almost eaten down, then it's like those beneficial insects come in and just destroy all those aphids to keep the aphids from getting the rest of the plant. It's kind of like this weird thing that nature does. But if you prune your plants, you can reduce the pest spread, but you also don't want to reduce it so much to where your plant isn't able to grow, and also you're not bringing in those beneficial insects. So one of the things that I do, like I mentioned, is I put all of mine into a composting bin that I then leave open so that those beneficial insects can come in and eat those bugs. But then I also prune my plants, and once I'm done pruning all of my plants, I will hit it with a hard stream of water to just kind of really get everything off, anything that's still left on there. Like I can see on this one, it has a little bit of aphids on the center stalks. Now most of the time your center ones won't have aphids on them, but I have a little bit down at the bottom. So I'm just going to hit it with a hard gust of water, not spray anything on it. I'm really big on not putting a lot of things in my garden unless it's like absolutely destroying the entire thing, which is very rare for a garden because an ecosystem can really take care of itself. But unless it's doing that, I really don't like to put anything in it or on it, on the leaves. So that's just kind of like a little bit of a tip on organic gardening, is that just keep your plants pruned. Ones that are overly grown out, put them in like a composting bin, or at least just leave them out so that those beneficial insects can eat the aphids, but then also keep flying around your garden like the lacewings and different things like that to just protect the garden from other things. But don't be so quick to spray a bunch of stuff, because this is life and this is the life cycle of a plant, and we want to make sure that we're continuing that so that we can have the best gardens ever. So guys, I just want to stop and say that my kale plant is one of the most healthiest plants I have in my garden. I can grow tons of kale and it never really has any bugs on it. It's just healthy and beautiful. This one is the blue Scotch kale. It's a dwarf plant, so it's very compact, it grows a ton, and it's one that I really, really love. Alright guys, just to show you and just for a reference for me, I prune my kale plants down way far. I prune them back, and these will grow back in literally probably like a week and a half. So when you get your kale, prune it all the way back down to like the last couple of stalks. You don't want to disturb like the head of it, so you don't want to cut it here. You just want to cut it by stalk. And then, just if you guys are wondering, I think I'm just going to continue with my green kale versus my purple one, because the purple one was pretty, but it does attract way more aphids than the green one does. So that's just, I don't know if it's just my garden, but what do you guys think? Let me know. Have you seen a difference in it? Alright guys, this video is getting pretty long and I'm running out of baskets because apparently I had a lot I needed to get out of here. So I'm going to go ahead and just grab 2 more things. I'm going to grab the rat tail radish, and I'm also going to grab some of my bulb radishes too as well. And then I think I'll do the herbs in their own video because the herbs are wild. So I'm just going to do those in another video, and then also show how I'm going to do dehydrating of those two as well, because all the herbs that are coming out today I'm going to dehydrate. So that'll be tomorrow's video probably. So I'm not 100% when I'm supposed to harvest these, but a lot of people said when you can start feeling the seed pods develop. So I'm only going to get like a couple. I'm going to wait and see how well they develop, but I do want to try them. So I'm going to get a couple for my stir fry, and then I'm going to try one on camera for you guys. Okay, so I only grabbed a couple because I want to see, since this is my first time growing them, I really want to see how they grow, so I'm going to let them grow out a little bit more. But I did grab one to try, so we're going to see what it tastes like. Tastes like a radish. They're actually kind of sweeter, and then it has kind of like a spicy kick afterwards. But it tastes like a radish. These are actually really good. They're very sweet in the beginning, and then you can really start to taste a little spice as I continue to chew it. So these don't go great in stir fry, I think, or stir fry for like an Asian stir fry. I think they'll go really great in like just a green bean and radish and onion stir fry with garlic. So not bad, guys. Alright guys, so I think that's enough harvesting for right now, otherwise this video is going to be forever long. But I have an entire bucket of greens, all different types, and then I also have some radishes, my broccoli, and some snow peas. So I'm going to go ahead and take this inside and get everything rinsed off, and I'm gonna lay everything out on the table just so I can do like a once over so you guys can see what all I got, but it's a lot. So until next time, make sure you guys are growing yourselves a garden, because even a small space can provide you with tons of food. Bye guys.